Inclusivity includes everybody except you, eventually. What's going on, Paisanos? V here, and today we're going to talk about inclusivity and basically how it just got one man DQ'd. Going into round 6, being 5-0, got DQ'd because he made someone feel unsafe? Listen, recently Konami did a policy update talking about their inclusivity guidelines. And of course, making sure to let you know you can say fuck to a person, you'll get a warning. But if you mispronoun them purposely, you'll get DQ'd. Now, in that video I made not long ago talking about it, I actually praised Pokemon for having an all-in-one policy. Basically adding everything together and bunching it up. I thought that was a really good idea, until this happened. This happened recently this past weekend. This is not like a month ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. This past weekend at a Pokemon regional event. A Pokemon regional is the equivalent to a Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS. I really want you to understand why this is so important because this impacts you as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. This can't happen to you. And that's the point of what I'm trying to point out in my previous video where I said, listen, don't get mad when it happens to you at the event. Get mad when they start throwing it out there and saying, no, this is for everybody. We're just making it cool for everybody. It's never all about everybody. It's only about the few attacking everybody else. And most people won't stand up and talk about it. Most people, other YouTubers, will be scared to talk about this because they don't want to be attacked next. No, Twitter, please, I apologize. I take it back is what the pussies say. Realistically, at the end of the day, this is for the benefit of the game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon, it doesn't really matter, does it? Well, this person, it does actually. Hey everyone, I know you have a lot of questions about everything that happened this weekend, and I'm sorry I couldn't inform you all on what went down sooner. I put a lot of thought into this with caution. You have to add caution now. God, man, you guys got ripped off, by the way, on like your childhood. But with caution, it's a topic I don't take lightly, and it's not something that should just be messed about. With this being said, there's everything that happened that led to the head judge to DQ me from regionals and escort me out the venue. Imagine going to an event playing and because you said you misgendered somebody, not even on purpose by the way, but somehow, whatever, getting escorted out the event. This is the kind of crazy shit that happens. And this will happen at Yu-Gi-Oh! Events. Like, make no mistake about it. This story will 1,000,000%, I guarantee in this year, happen at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event. Who wants to bet me on this? I guarantee you we'll see one of these from a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player in the near future. It all started round 6. I was 5-0 and just as hit Alex Shemansky, of everyone known player, as well as every skilled player. With all this in mind, I was obviously a bit nervous. Once again, he's playing live on stage in a Pokemon event. Keep in mind, I've been on stream 2 times prior, but it's still always nerve-wracking being in front of so many people. I went to my table and saw Alex and a judge standing there, and the judge informed us that we were going to be playing on stream. I was excited, of course, and we started to walk over to the stream area. On our way over to the stream area, they just asked us for our preferred pronouns. What does this have to do with playing cards? This is my point I constantly say. What the fuck does this have to do with playing cards? No one could explain this to me. Nobody. They always say make person feel comfortable, but that should just be human nature. That should just be trading cards. If you're not making someone feel comfortable, then yeah, there's a whole different criteria for that. But harassment should be its own policy. Not immediately going, hey, listen, you're going to be on live stream. Can you not be an asshole? Like, duh, that should be just a given. Evidently, unfortunately, that is not in the Pokemon community, and more than likely now in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. I said, he or him or, and I paused trying to think of the third pronoun, the third being his. As I just stood there, looking stupid, trying to think of the third pronoun, I felt embarrassed because I was failing to think of a simple word. Due to the nerves of me being embarrassed, I let out a little laugh, just a normal nervous laugh. My response together ended up being, he or him or, his. That's it. That's all I said. Anyways, after that, we continued to walk and we reached the stream area. Just to clarify, the judge asks once more, what's your guys' preferred pronouns? Once again, this has nothing to do with card players and card players who don't care about this stuff. When you ask somebody something that's awkward in an awkward situation they're already in, they're going to give you an awkward answer. No matter what the question is. It could be, would you have a breakfast? It would have been the same response. It would have been awkward because I'm there to play cards. I'm there to compete. I don't care to give any preferred pronouns. Let's get this game on the road. Let me go in my stream area and play my match. And this is the kind of thing that's going to happen. Once again, like I said, if you don't think this is going to happen in Yu-Gi-Oh!, you are dead wrong. This will impact Yu-Gi-Oh! We've seen it with Magic, we're seeing it with Pokemon, and I guarantee you we will see it with Yu-Gi-Oh! And before anyone goes, V, wait a minute. No. The Konami's rules say, okay, you're getting it wrong, V. Konami's rules say you can't do it intentionally. It's always going to be perceived as intentionally. Intentionalization is perceived, meaning, hey, you know what? I thought it was intentional. That's it. That's all it took. There it is. It's done. You really honestly truly think someone goes, you say pronouns as she, they? Well, No, it's always perceived. That is my point of this video. Just like that was the point of my last video. That's it. Just like this person who, once again, what he's going to say is going to be taken as perceived intention. It's not. Of course it's not. He's just nervous, put in a nervous situation, but of course it's taken differently. Alex says he and him, and then I say, yeah, he and him, and he laughs. The little laugh at the end was because I was trying not to be awkward because I just stated the exact thing that Alex had just stated. And it was kind of silly to me in that scenario. In this scenario, I was also reminded of when I was on stream from Top 8 Baltimore early this season. When I was on stream, nobody asked for my preferred pronouns, so to be safe, the commentators referred to me as they, them. God, imagine how awkward that was. Like, just play the game. One thing, it's very simple, but somehow they have to add all this horseshit in to make it confusing. For why? Well, because they want to, flag to everybody, hey, we're liberals, isn't that great? Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck at all. My friends make fun of me sometimes for this just lighthearted jokes because it embarrassed me a bit, because those were my pronouns. Nobody cares. To clarify, I have zero issue with people pronouns and how they choose to identify and express themselves. I have never had any issues with it and never will, because at the end of the day, it's their choice and it doesn't affect my life. Once again, what you do, as long as you don't hurt yourself or anybody else, is none of my business. Let me come here to a card event to play card games, okay? If you bark like a dog on your free time, that's between you, your four walls, and God. Leave the rest away from me. I don't care. I want to play cards. That's simple. As long as people are happy, I'm happy. Keeping this in mind when reading this, please. Back to the event, after Alex and I gave a response for the second time, the judge looked at me and said, okay, just wanted to check to be safe. I go by they, them, so don't be a jerk about it. It's kind of, imagine going to play cards and some judge saying that to you, and you're like, all right, how about you just be a judge though, and I'll be a card player, and we'll just get the show on the road. They smiled after this and gave no signs whatsoever of being upset or uncomfortable. When they said, don't be a jerk about it, I thought they were just saying it in general, like in the future or something. I had no clue that I upset them, and I had no intention to do so whatsoever. I thought nothing of this to me because it was just a normal conversation that people have before going on stream. It was basically just like how San Diego went before I went on stream. We go up on stage, get set up, fist pump, and play game one. I brick most of the game and end up scooping when I felt very comfortable. I swear at the same time. I felt very comfortable going into game 2 matchup wise and felt I had a very good chance of winning the match after seeing what Alex's deck was made of. I say I'll go second, and we pick up and start shuffling for game 2. Then I see a few judges walking over to the stage, and they get on stage, and one starts talking to Alex. Alex and I both extremely confused because we had no clue what was happening. At first, I thought he must have had a deckless error or something because the judge was only talking to him. They told me to keep my headphones on during this so I could hear what they were saying to Alex. Then one judge puts a headset on and asks me, Makani, what was said to the judge when they asked for your pronouns? God, once again, we're going into game 2. They finished game 1, and now they're bringing this crap up. It's insane. This is when I began to get a bit worried and wonder if I had done something wrong. I answered the question, and I said, he, him. The judge asked me if there was anything else I said. They wanted to know what my tone was. Once again, there's your intentionality. There it is right there. Oh, look at that. It's only purposefully. What was your tone, by the way? No. It's only if you did it on purpose. By the way, what's your tone? That's exactly what's going to happen to Yu-Gi-Oh players. Make no mistake about it. Was during the conversation. They said this was very important that I answered truthfully. Ugh. Isn't that great? I said the only possible thing I might have done that could have been taken the wrong way was when I laughed a bit. I told him that I was just a bit nervous. The judge then told me to walk off stage and talk off stage. Mind you, this is midstream. They're going to game 2, and the other judge was like, come off stage. By the way, be truthful with us, okay? That's it. God, oh, cops say that crap. I was still confused during this, and even more confused from when I see 2 more players walking off stage to take Alex and my spots. This has never happened before, at least from what I've heard. I walked behind the curtains by the stage, and the head judge, can't remember his name, I think it was like Bobby, asked me exactly what was said. I explained what happened, and that the nervous laugh was because I was embarrassed of what went down at Baltimore. During this time, I was very polite and calm and made sure to clearly get my point across and made it extremely clear that I had no intention whatsoever of harming or upsetting anyone. I explained that I have absolutely nothing against people's pronouns, and I never have. There was no incentive I could possibly have, especially since I had just recently earned my invite. Why would I try to lose that? The head judge seemed to understand, so I was a bit relieved. But then he pulls out the rule book on his phone and says, due to me violating their inclusive policy and due to me making someone feel unsafe and uncomfortable, I was disqualified for the event. Paisanos, I want you to understand this because this is going to happen eventually to some place in your community. It's going to. It's inevitable. This will happen. And I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just explaining to you why I get so defensive when I see these things about inclusivity. Because it's never about the word inclusivity is including everybody, make everybody feel safe and comfortable. How do you think this guy feels right now? He was nervous. He felt awkward. And because he was nervous and felt awkward, he made somebody, allegedly, once again, because we don't know, felt upset. And because of all that, he has to get DQ'd after going undefeated. How would that make you feel? Travel to an event, take the weekend off from your friends, family, job, whatever it is, school. Go to an event, pay for a hotel, pay for a flight, maybe, depending, drive, whatever. These aren't, these aren't places that are down the block from everybody. So you had to do all this just to get to an event, and because you were nervous, made someone feel uncomfortable, you're going to get DQ'd. How do you feel about that right now? After being undefeated, by the way. Once again, feel good? Inclusivity. It's for everybody except you eventually. I was just in disbelief. I remember saying, wait, what? I was so confused. I had explained very calmly and what happened, and seeing that he was listening. I was stunned. I asked to sit down on a nearby chair and try to process what was going on. I still had a bit of hope left and said, "Is there any way I can appeal this?" And again, I stated how I was really sorry if I upset someone that had zero malicious intent whatsoever, and that I had nothing against people's pronouns. At this point, my message was very clear. I had no intention whatsoever to offend or hurt anyone, and I was truly sorry if someone interpreted it wrong. Once again, this is what I'm talking about when I had made that other video. This is why I'm so defensive of this stupid policy, because it doesn't help nobody. It just gives everybody and the other people the ability to kick people out by saying, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't feel safe or I didn't feel comfortable," or any bullshit policy. And to the judge that did that, listen, maybe the judge might have felt offended. That's why the judge said, "Don't be a jerk." Wow, super offended, right? These are the kind of things that will get a player kicked out of an event. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, imagine traveling to the YCS. Isn't there one in the 250, wherever it is for you, but I know there's one in California, the epicenter of just inclusivity, of course, even though they have a massive homeless problem. But no, let's be inclusive. Don't worry about the homeless problem. Just going there, and because you said the wrong word at the wrong time, you get kicked out of the event. This is why we gotta stand up to that shit right now. Because this kid wishes he stood up with his community when anyone was set up, if they did, instead of having, it being spineless, sitting there all quiet going, "Okay, no, that's fine. Is this impact me right now? No? Okay, that's fine. Okay, this is impact me right now? No, only them? Only they're impacted? Okay, just as long as it's only them and not me, everything's fine." Don't be a fucking coward. Get it together, okay? This shit will eventually affect you. Eventually, it gets everybody. And then everyone gets upset about it. And then Konami, or Pokemon in this case, goes, "Wait, this has been around for a while. Where was everybody? Why are you guys upset now?" Because they don't understand. People get upset when things impact them, not when things will eventually impact them. And this is what's happening here. This is where it really escalated. By the way, this guy is going to lose his shit soon. The head judge tells me that he was sorry and that it sucked, but I was disqualified due to Pokemon's policy. At this point, I'm at the verge of tears. I try my best to keep my composure. I just couldn't understand what was happening. Of course not. You don't understand until it's happening right then and there. Was the judge just not listening to anything I told him? Was he trying to look at my side of my story at all? One last time I asked if I can appeal and if there's anything I could do. You could have done something. You could have stood up when this policy was enacted and said, nope, we don't want this crap. We just want to come to play cards. But you need a lot of people to do this, of course. I asked talk to another judge, or to the judge that I upset, but all my requests were refused. The head judge then tells me that it was already done and they already disqualified me. I asked, so you already disqualified me even though I just told you what happened? And he said, yes, I know this sucks for everyone involved, and I'm sorry we have to do this. I just start bawling my eyes out. I felt this was so unfair. I was extremely polite and calm through the entire thing, and I felt I handled the situation very professionally. And the judges had just not listened to me at all and disregarded everything I had said, and that's what they will do to you. Once again, this will happen to people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! Guaranteed. And will anyone stand up for them? Of course not. Why? Because where are they right now? Where's all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Players right now? Where are they? My YouTubers, the influencers as we have, where are they? Quiet. Why? Maybe Konami will send them a box of cards that go open early on stream. Ooh, exciting. That's what they care about. Where are they right now? Do they care about this? Of course not. Once again, this is something that sucks for this person that happened to. It really sucks. This person went to school, play cards, and they have to deal with this crap. Obviously, this is something that's going to affect them as a person for a long time. Things that no one cares about, but you know, once again, things that just are get factored in factually. Like, this will impact this person every time they go to an event, they go to play cards. This is not fair. This is not fun. They're here to play cards. They're not here to kowtow to gender ideology. They don't care about that crap. They don't. By the way, there's only 2 genders. I know people get upset about that. Oh, no. But when you do the actual pronouns, they're asking for like 50 other genders. People are adding gender on like fucking expansion packs in video games. Like, it's just goofy. At the end of the day, people just come to card game events to play cards. That's it. This policy never impacted nobody negatively until it impacts you. And I really want to emphasize that, because people are going to go, V, come on now, knock it off. And then it happens to somebody you know, maybe. Maybe it happens to you at an event. And then just imagine paying for airfare, you're losing money from work or school, hotel, just to get kicked out of an event because you weren't inclusive enough. They can word it any way they want. They go, no, it's only if you intentionally do it. Intentionality is always perceived by what? Who perceives intentionality? Seriously, think about it. Who does? At the end of the day, it's the judges that perceive it. This guy's judges evidently perceived that it was. How do you think it'll be perceived at Yu-Gi-Oh! Events? In tears, I say, you guys didn't even listen to me at all. I felt helpless and unheard and unbelievably upset. Ironic, by the way, because this policy is meant to help those that feel unheard and feel helpless and feel upset about the situation. In turn, it just makes other people that have that. Isn't that weird? I told the judge that I had just spent $800, took 2 flights to this event, and I had missed school for this. I said this was my whole life, and I had worked so hard to get to this point, and that he had just taken it all away from me for no reason. He didn't care at all. He once again said he was sorry, but there was nothing he can do about it. I thought to myself, this is absolutely something you can do about this, and is absolutely unjustified. Let me pause real quickly right here, because I do agree with the judge. I think most judges' hands, even judges that agree with us, and trust me, there are many who agree with us about this situation, even they feel like their hands are tied. Okay, it's the players that need to stand up and go, no, we don't like this. It's the players that need to go to companies like Pokemon and Konami and say, get rid of that. Okay, just have an easy policy saying don't be a jerk. That's it. It's a very simple policy. It's not that difficult. We always had it, but now you want to add on policy to do goofy shit like this? No, it's not fair. Once again, it makes people feel helpless. I thought that was the point of the policy, to help those who are helpless. It's only the point if you agree to an ideology. That has nothing to do with the fucking card game. However, I didn't say this because I was busy bawling. I didn't say this because I was busy bawling my eyes out. I felt the judge showed no sympathy whatsoever and just said that the rules were the rules. The amount of frustration I felt is still feel is just insane. I had never been treated so unbelievably unfairly and had such an opportunity just taken from me for something I didn't even do. The judge said while he believed that I had no bad intentions, it didn't matter because at the end of the day, someone was offended and upset. This is ridiculous to me. I was very sympathetic for the judge. I had just upset, and I never meant to upset them or anyone. And all the head judge cared about was that somebody was upset and I caused it. Once again, intentionality is always perceived. It's not straight up. It's not easy. It's not obvious. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. There it is. There's intentionality. Okay? It wasn't, but I said it was intentional. Now what? Well, it was though. So that's it. It's over. That's it. That's why when Konami says intentionally, that word means fucking ugats to me. Because it's always perceived. By who? The claiming party, of course. I told him that I was also upset and they just ruined my entire trip, and I want to get over this for a long time. To make the situation even worse, they said I wasn't allowed in the venue anymore, which made me cry even more. I never cried the way I cried that night. I told him I didn't even have the service and I had no way to contact anyone and didn't have my key to my hotel room that I would have had to walk to. He told me not to worry, that he could call one of my friends over to help. I was so unbelievably frustrated and upset and mad. I know I'm reading this a little bit out of context, some words from me or whatever. I need to get glasses. Did he think this made it all better? He just disqualified me and stole everything from me that he knew. I never meant to do anything, and now he thinks it's all better. Well, I'm still crying. The judge asked me to sign the match slip. The balls. I felt that he wasn't even acknowledging me and that he was just so happy the problem was dealt with. That's how they'll feel. I just told him that he had ruined so much from me and taken so much money and hard work, and all he cared about was that I signed a match slip. I said, give me a sec, because I was shattered and in tears, crying like I never cried before. Then, a minute later, he asked me, are you refusing to sign a match slip? Making the situation even worse than it was somehow. I signed a match slip and kept crying. The head judge leaves and I haven't talked to him since. I sat there for another good 10 minutes crying till one of my friends comes and meets me. This is a very personal topic for me, but I'm going over it anyways because I need people to understand what I was going through. In the past years, I've been extremely suicidal and depressed, and after years of medication and therapy and working through it all, I was finally started to be better. I was stable on going to school and doing things on my own. Life was good. I hadn't had any suicidal thoughts in a while until this event. I was sitting down crying disbelief. I get up and say I'm going to kill myself and start walking away from the stage. A staff member who had been watching me, Reagan's dad, I guess some person, followed me outside the venue and had escorted me until I was upstairs and sat down. I just sat there in shock, tears, and said he had to cut my wristband off. That's fucked. I was out of energy at this point and raised my arm so he could cut my wristband. I sat down for a good 20 minutes until my friend and I called finished his round, came to see me. I told him everything that happened, crying during the whole story, and he consulted me. He gave me his phone in case I needed to call anyone and had to go back downstairs to play for his round. For the next 30 to 45 minutes, I sat there saying nothing, shocked, hurt, and traumatized. But by everything. When I say I was close to running outside in the middle of the road, I'm not joking. I don't mess around this topic. It is not something I take lightly whatsoever. What I'm trying to say is that the way I was treated makes me feel so upset and treated so unfairly that I was nearly running in the middle of the road and getting ran over. I want it all to be over, and I just want to be done with everything. That there was no point of anything for me. My dream of winning a regionals with my own deck, with my deck I had put so much time and work into, was taken from me. I'm in school, I lost $100, traveled across the country for what? Nothing. It was all for nothing. I'm being completely honest with everybody when I say have never been so upset in my life. I've never wanted to feel like this again. I think judges overall handled the situation terribly, and I was treated like garbage. I'm sorry if I said anything that offended anyone, but this is my side of the story. What happened to me? I was very emotional typing this out, so sorry if some of it doesn't make too much sense. And if I took things a bit too far, my suicidal thoughts, thank you for everybody for supporting me. I'm going to submit a support ticket to TCPI and try to maybe get something out of the situation. Love you all, Makani. Listen, first off, real quickly, Makani, there's a lot of people who understand what happened to you is wrong. A lot of people. And it's not even about a political side. People on both political sides know that this is fucked up. Like, I know people, when I even made my first video on both political sides, that knew that it's not the right thing. And right now, in this situation, this is not the right thing. What happened here is really messed up. It's always about inclusivity until they start attacking other people, until they start banning other people, because they're not being inclusive enough. I don't know why I messed that word up. But that's what it's about. It's always, always, always about everybody else until it happens to you. You're the next person. You're going to event. You're doing good. You're feeling good. You're probably excited. You're definitely nervous because you're now going to be live on stage. And you feel really good about your deck and you're playing against someone, let's say like Jesse Cotton, another renowned Yu-Gi-Oh player. And you're excited and you're nervous. And now you have to get pronouns. And you're like, what? I just, wait, hold on a second. I don't care about that stuff. I'm just here to play cards. That's simple. Well, it doesn't matter what side you are politically. I'm just here to play cards. I don't care about this. Hold on. Let's slow it down a bit. Can I just sit down and play cards? Is that cool? I'll put the headset on. We're good. I gotta wear a mask, right? Gotta take a COVID vaccine. Can I just play fucking cards? Well, you could play cards, but once again, you have to have a mask on. You have to have your COVID vaccination, booster shot. This is for Yu-Gi-Oh, of course. For Pokemon's mask on, and then this stuff. But all that stuff, and you have to give us your pronouns. Come on, chop chop. Why? I thought you guys saw when I go to buy a pack at Walmart, it doesn't say prefer pronoun or you can't buy. When I go to play at locals, I'm not have to deal with this. Why am I dealing with it here? Higher levels of gameplay and trading cards now require you to give pronouns? I thought it was all about playing cards. And then they'll hit you back. Inclusivity. No. We just want to be inclusive. Cool. I don't care about any of that. Be inclusive to me. I don't care about any of this bullshit. Be inclusive. Let me play with everybody, because if inclusivity means everybody gets involved, then as long as nobody's being hurt, hey, listen, you have your pronoun, Jesse? You give me your pronoun, Jesse? Cool. I don't care about any of that. I just want to play cards. Perfect. We're done. Easy. Simple. But don't do this perceived garbage going, well, when he said this, I felt this, so he has to not get kicked out of this event. That's not fair. That's not right. How does that help anybody? And to any Yu-Gi-Oh player watching this video, especially the YouTubers, it's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen to you maybe. And what are you going to do about it? Then you're going to want to make a tweet longer? Like my buddy Makani? Listen, Makani, I hope you get something back from this. I hope something goes good for you, man. But when they first roll this garbage out, you got to immediately stand up. Even if it's a tweet, even if it's a message to the company, anything. Even a simple YouTube video. Let them know, hey, listen, I don't care about this. When I play cards, I just want to play cards. I'm not going to be a dick to anybody else, as long as they're not a dick to me. And that's it. That's simple. That's all that policy. Done. That's it. If you perceive you feel something, some way, shape, or form, take that out with a judge. But don't put that shit on me at the end of the day, because I'm here to play cards. Once again, this happened in Pokemon, and they have an easier policy than what Yu-Gi-Oh has just recently rolled out. It's going to happen in Yu-Gi-Oh. And then, when that happens to that person, maybe we'll get them on, do a video with them, talk about what happened. Pretend we're shocked about what we know is going to happen. It doesn't matter what political side of the aisle you're on in this whole situation. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get screwed. You can get screwed, just like this poor kid got screwed. For what? For nothing. Because he didn't say the right thing at the right time. Someone feel comfortable about their goofy agenda. It's idiotic. He's going to play cards. I'm here to play cards, and you come to events to play cards. Everything else is bullshit. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is your boy V, and you guys also have a great day.